burns to his face and hands as he was trying to extinguish the blaze. He was taken to hospital for treatment. His brothers Tyrone and David BABB resided there with him and their mother, who escaped unharmed. They say they lost everything in the fire.
I jump up this and I understand myself was something in my house like it on fire then, you know. And when I look, all I can tell you when I look, I just see fire. I went bucket of water, tell me get the bucket of water and throw. It was, you know, it was too late. I never see fire, I never see nothing like that. It just burned so quickly, you know.
I was under the trees down by the corner, and I just saw the smoke, so I just ran back up the road. By the time I got around the corner, I stepped in the house, I had to run back out. It was so hot. Fire was too hot, and by the strong winds make it burn a lot faster. Because by the time when the fire truck was coming around the corner, the neighbor's trimming board had just started burning. And in a hurry, the house was on fire. They couldn't get it stopped.
10 fire officers with 2 fire trucks and a water tender responded to the blaze under the command of the chief fire officer. Police were meanwhile forced to cordon off the area. Also on the scene was MP for the area, Michael CARRINGTON. He says that the relevant government agencies have been mobilized to accommodate those who have lost their homes.
We can only empathize with them who have lost everything in the fire. This chap passing here, this is all he has now. He just has on the suit of clothes on his back. And the head sofa on the other side, there's a brother there. The head sofa, all of them, just the clothes on their backs, literally, you see. So it will be a cost, but we'll have to see how best we can, you know, we can help them.
It's just over 2 weeks before the start of this year's major agricultural showpiece, AgroFest. And organizers say some changes are coming to the opening evening of the expo. CEO of the Barbados Agricultural Society, James Paul, outlines what patrons can expect come February 26.
We're going to have the karaoke contest, that is true, but we're going to have other things associated with it, like we're going to have a comedian contest on Friday evenings. Oh. Yeah, this Friday evening we're going to have it, and we're going to start some promotion on that very soon. Also, one of the main features that I think I'm really proud about this year is that our junior drilling challenge contest, I think Peter has been working on that consistently. And we have 6 extremely good schools who are going to be on show. We have some excellent prizes for them. And we have a culinary competition on this year among the schools too at the same time. And a lot of that, we sort of package that activity on the Friday evening because we're trying to make it interesting to the patrons. And at the same time, we want to portray in a lot of those exhibits the agricultural connection, the agricultural theme.
Mr. Paul says the aim of AgroFest is to promote the agricultural sector. He says the animal exhibits are a must-see this year.
What I'm seeing this year as a response on the part of the farmers, very early, and new farmers, and not only that, young farmers yes. Because what we are seeing is a younger cadre of exhibitor.
That's good.
Which is very good, right? And we want to increase that as we go ahead. So I can promise patrons when they come and they see those animals, they will be beautiful this year, extremely beautiful.
Well, patrons can expect an action-packed Holetown festival this year. Organizers say the 2016 festival will be opened on Sunday by the reigning Miss Holetown, MEGGHAN Michael. Committee member George Elliott says activities include a seaside theatre, bus tours and a tattoo by the Royal Barbados Police Force. A highlight of the festival is the street parade.
As you know, with the old vintage cars.
Yes, that's right.
And then, of course, we have the groups, the regiment, the cadets, and lots of other groups, schools, and what have you.
Always a spectacle.
Yes, very much so. And with that, MEGGHAN will be riding her last ride. And I shouldn't say that because that comes Sunday night. Yes. And the contestants will be parading as well.
And speaking about her reign, Miss Holetown MEGGHAN Michael says it was not only enjoyable, but the journey changed her life.
I became so confident. I'm also a dancer, so I've expanded my dance era, or whatever you want to call it, but I've expanded so much in performing, teaching dancing, and aspiring to inspire people a lot.
The Barbados Tourism Product Authority, or the BTPA, recently conducted an audit of cruise visitors' experience on the island. CEO of the authority, Dr. Carrie Hall, says the aim is to foster a warmer welcome and a richer experience for cruise visitors to Barbados. Ryan Broom has more.
It was on January 27th, one of the busiest days for the terminal, with around 10,000 arriving passengers, that Dr. Hall led a team of managers and consultants in assessing the various stages of the onshore visitor experience from the passenger's perspective. Dr. Hall acknowledged that the feedback from cruise visitors, which often determines which port ships include in their itineraries, has not always been favorable. In fact, she described the assessment tour as very insightful, noting that they paid special attention to areas where visitors voiced concerns during cruise ship surveys and on social media platforms. She said the team was therefore able to identify several gaps in the system that need to be rectified. Now, the second phase of the audit will include visits to popular beaches and attractions on the island frequented by cruise visitors. And once completed, Dr. Hall has confirmed that a report on the audit, including recommendations, will be submitted to Minister of Tourism Richard Seeley. Now, Barbados' cruise industry is estimated to generate over $200 million in revenue for the island. Ryan Broom, CBC News.
The visiting head of the International Trade Center sees potential in small and medium-sized enterprises in the region. Executive Director Aranka Gonzalez is currently in Barbados on the second stop of her first Caribbean tour. She says SMEs play a part in developing a country's economy.
And in order to do that, we have to make sure that we simplify the cost of doing business for these companies. We reduce the cost of doing business. We help them by making sure they can thrive. For big guys, it's relatively easy. For small guys, the moment you have an additional cost, it may mean the difference between being able to export or remaining confined to your domestic market. So we have to cut down the cost for the small guys, for them to be able to trade internationally.
Ms. Gonzalez wants institutions that assist SMEs to be strengthened.
Institutions are important. If you help an institution, they can help millions of companies in the country. And finally, we can't help the companies. We're doing a lot of work in this region with coconut producers, for example.
Yes.
One, you know, we may say, well, coconut, oh my God, you know, that's kind of old-fashioned. It's not. It's amazing the amount of new products and new services that the coconut industry can provide.
Barbados and the United Kingdom have signed an air services agreement. The accord is expected to strengthen existing air transport links between the two countries. Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade Senator Maxine McLean and British High Commissioner to Barbados Victoria Dean initialed the document recently at the ministry's Culloden Road headquarters. Now, under this agreement, Barbadian designated carriers can operate to intermediate points and points beyond, and the United Kingdom designated carriers can operate from points in the United Kingdom to intermediate points beyond. High Commissioner Dean notes that the agreement is testament to the close working relationship between the two countries. She's also hoping that it could make a contribution to the number of persons traveling between the two countries and points beyond while improving trade. Well, regional and international stories up next.
A lot of people think that fast food